So in the last session, we discussed about what is server, types of servers, right? Server client model, server architecture, first phase of implementation, second phase of implementation, right? Yeah. So currently we are using Docker architecture. What is Docker? Why Docker? Why the project teams are looking for Docker infrastructure, right? What is cost saving? So how can we, yeah. So how can we move the containers, how can we use the containers? Okay, so when the Docker released, so why the Docker is very popular now? So these are all we discussed right yesterday. So anyone newly joined today, can you share your WhatsApp number, email address in the chat, so that will provide you all the previous recordings. So far we have discussed three demos and SDLC, software development lifecycle, and the server architecture, right? Yeah, today we are going to discuss about networking part. Okay, so before going to AWS, first we need to understand this basics. So if you understand this basics, you can easily cope up in the while working on AWS services. You can easily understand, right? Yeah. So first we need to understand this terminology. Terminology is very important, right? Yeah. So anyone newly joined today, can you share your WhatsApp number, email address in the chat? So my mobile number already shared with you. My mobile number is 96422111711. So this is my number. I put into the chat, go to meeting chat. So anyone newly joined today, first session or second session, you can share your WhatsApp number and email address in the chat. You came today only, right? Okay, no problem. So you can take down my number. So yeah, after this session, if you have any questions, you can ask me. Okay. Yeah. Fine. Let's get started. Desktop also can use, but web browser you can use. Web browser you can use. You can connect through web browser. Okay. Yeah. Fine. Let's get started. So already we discussed about servers, right? So up to here we covered it already. Up to operating system we covered yesterday, right? So what is network? Types of networks? What is IP address? What is subnet mask? What is gateway? What is router? Firewall? Failover? Load balancer? So these we can discuss today. So these are all very important. So once start working on AWS. So in AWS we have networking part, which is a VPC, virtual private cloud, right? So before going to networking part in AWS, we need to understand this basics. So this terminology is very important. So everyone, everyone need to understand this basics, so especially non-IT guys, freshers. Okay, so experienced guys, they have basic knowledge, right? Yeah, let's get started. What is networking? What is networking? Anyone having idea? Online guys, what is networking? Yeah, networking is a communication between servers, communication between devices which are hosted in the data center, right? Yeah, it's a communication to share the resources, to share the data, to access the data, right? See here. A computer network is a system in which multiple computers are connected to each other to share information and resources, right? So we can share the information and resources through network, right? So normally we use, for example, in schools and hospitals, what we will do? We use LAN connectivity, LAN, okay? What is LAN? How can we, yeah, how can we check the LAN? How can we, what are the devices we use in LAN? We'll discuss, okay? Yeah, see here. So this is the LAN connectivity. So this, yeah, connection we use RJ45 cables, right? RJ45 cables, which are very popular cables. Okay, we can use in LAN connectivity. So one system to other system communication will be happened to share the data, to share the resources, right? We use the network here. See here. So what are the characteristics of computer network? Share resources from one computer to another, and create files and store them in one computer, access those files from other computer called other computers connected over the network, right? So normally in real-time projects, right, what we will do, we'll store the data in central location in one computer, which is server, right? Which is yeah, normally we configure the servers in data centers, right? What is data center, anyone? What is data center? We discussed already, right? Data center is a server room. Data center is a server room, right? Yeah. What is server room? What is server room? Where we host all the servers, where we host all the devices, where we host all the networking devices, right? Load balancers, backup devices, routers, right? Yeah, so these are all we can host in, we configure in server room, right? So this servers we can configure in server room. Through network we can access the servers, right? So we can store the data in central location, we can access through network. Fine. So why we need to store the data in central location, we'll discuss. See here. Connect a printer, scanner or fax machine to one computer within the network and let other computers of the network use the machines available over the network. Right. For example, there is a school. In the school, 5 floors are there. 5 floors, right? Yeah. For example, 5 floors, printers required. Printers. Printers, right? So normally in school, what they will do, they configure LAN connectivity. In second floor or third floor, they configure printer as a network printer. We can print from any floor. We can configure the printer as a network printer. So when we print the documents, the request will go through the network, right? So due to that, what will happen? Costing, hardware costing will be reduced, right? So instead of configuring printers in every floor, what we will do, we can configure one printer in any floor, like second floor, third floor, as a network printer, so that everyone can print the documents. The request will go through the network. Due to that, what will happen? So hardware costing will be reduced, right? Yeah, even printer, scanner, whatever. Okay. What are the hardware devices required to set up computer network? See here, network cables required here, and distributors required, and routers required. Yeah, internal network cards required, and also external network cards required. So these are the components required to set up the network here. Okay. Yeah, network cables. When we talk about network cables, very popular cable is, see here. Network cables are used to connect computers. The most commonly used cable is category 5 cable, which is, we can say, RJ45 cable. So this is very popular cable. So when we buy any router, along with the router, we get one cable, right? Which is RJ45 cable, right? See here. So this is the RJ45 cable. So by using color coding, we can connect this clamp to the cable and we can use this cable. Okay. So normally we use Wi-Fi. Sometimes, yeah, when you want to accelerate the speed, okay, we can use this cable. For example, while booking Tatkal tickets, right, we normally connect the cables. Okay. So the speed will be increased immediately, right? So compared to Wi-Fi. Next one is the distributors. Yeah, a computer can be connected to another via serial port, right? So normally distributors, so this mainly for loopback adapter. We can use for loopback adapter, right? Yeah, so we connect another via serial port, but if you need to connect many computers to produce a network, this serial connection will not work for the, yeah, so distribution normally, okay? See here, this is the loopback adapter. We can say loopback. One router to other router if you want to connect. So we required loopback adapter. Okay. Next one, router. What is router? See here. A router is a type of device which act as the central point among computers and other devices that are the part of the network, right? So normally we have network routers are there and also internet routers are there, right? So for example, we have two different networks are there, two different networks. Okay. So if you want to communicate from one network to other network, we require routers, or else if you want to connect internet, we require router, right? So network routers are there, internet routers are also available here. So currently, see here, this is the router currently if you want to connect internet, so normally in real-time projects, so for example in our office, earlier we used to use a LAN cable only, LAN connectivity only. So when we want to connect our office network, we used to use LAN connectivity only. So currently everywhere Wi-Fi, right? So even though breakout area, when we move to breakout area or cafeteria or any other area in the office premises, we can carry the laptop, we can carry the laptop, we can connect our network, we can check the emails, we can check the request tickets, right? So because everywhere in our office campus, so everywhere Wi-Fi available, right? Currently most of the organizations, they connect using Wi-Fi routers. Network card. So a network card is a necessary component of a computer without which a computer cannot be connected over a network. So without network card, we cannot connect we cannot connect other systems, right? It is also known as the network adapter or network interface card (NIC). So most branded computer have network card pre-installed. Network cards are two types: internal and external network cards. Okay, what is the internal network cards? What is the internal network, and what is the external network? Let's try to understand. So internal is mostly yeah. Currently we are using laptops. So in the laptop there is a motherboard. Inside of the motherboard there is a chip which is a internal network card. Okay. So external network cards we used to use in desktops, right? Yeah. See here, internal network cards. So here motherboard has a slot for internal network card where it is to be pre-installed. Internal network cards are two types. Yeah. In which first type is peripheral component interconnect PCI, and second one is ISA, which is industry standard architecture, right? So external network cards. So this is internal network card. So normally, yeah. So we used to use desktops, right? So every desktop is having PCI slot, PCI, peripheral component interconnect. In that we used to insert one PCI card. So after that we used to install one driver, so that internal network card we can install and we can access by connecting the cable yeah, through cable we can access other systems, we can access servers, we can share the data, we can copy the data, right? Yeah, so this is internal network card. Next one is external network cards. Yeah, so external network cards are two types: wireless and USB based. Okay, so here, so this black one is a wireless card, right? So we can connect to our internal network card. So this black one, okay. Next one is see here, this is a USB card, USB, right? Yeah, so normally both cards we used to use. So currently also people are using, but currently everywhere Wi-Fi we are using. Okay, yeah, this terminology is very important. So first we need to understand, right, before going to cloud. From tomorrow onwards we are going to start AWS. So before going to AWS we need to understand this. Okay, yeah. So next one is, what are the types of computer networks? We have four types of computer networks are available, right? So PAN, LAN, WAN, MAN, right? So PAN, what is PAN? Personal area network, right? LAN, local area network. WAN, wide area network. MAN, metropolitan area network. So four types of networks are available, right? Let us go with one by one. See here, what is PAN? PAN is a computer network formed around a person. It generally consists of a computer, mobile, or personal digital assistant. PAN can be used for establishing communication among these peripheral devices for connecting to digital network and the internet. See here. For example, within the room, within the floor, what we will do while using either laptop or desktop, we use the Bluetooth keyboard, we use the Bluetooth mouse, we use the Bluetooth headset, we use the Bluetooth printer, scanner, right? Whatever you want. Yeah. So this is a personal area network. Within the floor, within the room only it will work, right? Yeah. So there is a distance limitation here, but this is highly secured. No one can hack this. No one can enter into this because distance limitation. Distance limitation. It is very secure. Okay. See here. What are the characteristics of fan? It mostly personal devices network equipped within a limited area, allows you to handle the interconnection of IT devices at the surrounding of a single user. PAN includes mobile devices, tablet, and laptop. Advantage of PAN. See here. PAN networks are relatively secure and safe. It offers only short range solution up to 10 meters, right? Strictly restricted to smaller area. Within the room, within the floor, we can use the PAN connectivity. So disadvantage of PAN. So there is a distance limits. Okay. So maximum 10 meters range only it will work. Okay. Next one is LAN. So very important one, very popular one. So LAN stands for local area network. It is a group of network devices that allows communication between various connected devices. It covers the smallest areas such as colleges, schools, hospitals, so on. So here, this is the LAN connectivity. So by using Ethernet cards, we configure the LAN connectivity. What are the characteristics? So it is a private network, completely our own network. LAN is our own network, right? LAN operates at a relatively higher speed compared to other WAN systems, right? So normally when we use LAN connectivity, so it is very faster because this is our own network, our private network, right? Yeah. So what are the advantages? So computer resources like hard disk, DVD RAM, right, and printers can be shared local networks. This significantly reduce the cost of hardware purchases, right? Yeah. So as we discussed, so we no need to configure printers in all the floors. We can configure one printer in the particular floor. So the printer we can configure as a network printer. We can print the documents from any floor, right? So due to this, what will happen? So hardware costing will be reduced, right? Instead of purchasing printers for every floor, what we will do? We can configure as a network printer and we can print the documents from any floor, right? Yeah, so data of all network users can store on a single hard disk of the server computer. So normally hospitals and schools, so they purchase one server, they configure in server room, right? So for example, hospitals. So when we go to hospital, so if you tell your phone number, they can track your details, right? From OP, from other floor, from anywhere, right? So because the data will be stored in the center location, which is server, so they can access through network, right? Yeah, it will be easy to manage data at only one place, which makes data more secure, right? Disadvantage of LAN. So unauthorized users can access critical data of an organization in case LAN admin is not able to secure centralized data repository. If the LAN admin is not capable, so definitely hackers will enter into the network, right? So earlier we used to, normally LAN admins used to maintain the LAN network. So currently we are using Wi-Fi and cloud servers, cloud infrastructure, right? So currently as a DevOps engineer, we are handling all the infrastructure also. Fine. Next one, MAN. MAN stands for Metropolitan Area Network. It covers the largest area than LAN such as small towns, cities, etc. MAN connects two or more computers that reside within the same or completely different cities. Okay. So when Geo launches in Hyderabad, for example, they configure the cables inside of the road. They cut the road, they configure the cables across the state, across the city, right? Yeah, so this is metropolitan area network. In this network, they use fiber optic cables, not RJ45 cables. Fiber optic. So because distance limitation, more distance, right? So RJ45 cable required limitation only, very less limitation, distance limitation. But fiber optic cables we can configure within the city or different cities also. It's very faster. See here. So schools, hospitals, colleges, factories within the city or different cities, we can configure metropolitan area network. So what are the characteristics? See here. It mostly covers towns and cities in a maximum 50-kilometer range. Mostly used medium is optical fiber cables. Optical fiber cables. So the signal will go through lightning, right? Not not real cable, right? That is a lightning signal. Advantage of MAN. It offers fast communication using high-speed carriers like fiber optic cables. It provides excellent support for an extensive size network and a greater access to WANs. So a MAN network mostly includes some area of city or entire city. Disadvantages. See here drawbacks. You need more cables to establish WAN connection from one place to another. In MAN network it is thought to make the system secure from hackers because more distance, right? So definitely, so hackers will enter because more distance. So that is why network administrators, they configure the firewalls, they implement the security to maintain the MAN connectivity. Okay, next one, WAN, wide area network. It stands for wide area network. It covers large area than LAN as well as MAN, such as country and continent, etc. WAN is expensive and should or might not be owned by one organization. So normally, so country to country, continent to continent. So when we want to establish the connection, right? So one organization they cannot configure. So that is why, so group of organizations, they form as a group and they take one subscription. They can access from one region to other region, one continent to other continent. So here we use the satellite communication, satellite media, right? See here, this is a combination of LAN, WAN and MAN. So what are the characteristics? Any organization can form its global integrated network using WAN systems. Okay, advantages of WAN. Yeah, WAN helps you to cover larger geographical area. Therefore, business offices situated at longer distance can easily communicate. So WAN connections work using radio transmitters and receivers built in built into client devices. Okay. So normally, yeah, country to country, continent to continent, when we want to establish connection, we require satellite media, right? So we cannot establish the cables, right? Yeah. Disadvantages. See here. So the initial setup cost of investment is very high. It is difficult to maintain the WAN network. Yeah, you need skilled technicians and network administrators. There are more errors and issues because of the wide coverage and the use of different technologies we configure this. Okay, so these four types of networks are very very important. So in while working on AWS, we use WAN connectivity. We use WAN connectivity, and also we configure zone to zone, region to region, right? So in AWS we have regions, zones, edge locations. Region region what is region? Region is nothing but geographical location. It is a data center, we can say. In AWS, we have different data centers are there. Quickly, I'll show you. So because we can compare here, these basics are very important. So this is AWS console. See here, what is this? Ohio. Ohio means it is a US East 2 region. US East 2 region. See here, US East 2 region. US data center. US data center. This is Ohio US data center. This is a region, right? So these are all regions. US East 1, East 2, US West 1, yeah, US West 2, yeah, North California. These are the US data centers. Okay. So these are the Asia Pacific, Mumbai, Osaka, Seoul, Singapore, Sydney, Tokyo. These are all Asia Pacific data centers. Okay. Canada data center, Europe data centers, South America data centers. These are all regions, we can say. Under these regions, again, zones will be available. Zones. What is zone? Zone also a data center. Region, zone, right? Region is a data center. Zone also a data center. So zones, we can say DR data centers. Just want to quickly give you overview. For example, this is Mumbai region. Mumbai region. Okay. So region is a main data center. Region is a main data center, right? Under this region, again, we'll be having zones. These zones we can say availability zones. Availability zones. Okay. So these zones are, we can say, DR data centers. What is DR data center? Anyone? Disaster recovery data center. For example, this is a Hyderabad zone. This is a Bangalore zone. This is Chennai zone. Okay. So zone to zone data replication will be happened. Zone to zone data synchronization will be happened. In case one zone is down, other zone will take care of the servers, databases, applications. Okay. So AWS is providing high availability, high security. What is high availability? High availability. Whatever databases we are host on the AWS, whatever applications we host on the AWS, that should be available 24 by 7, which is nothing but high availability, high security also. Whatever applications we host on the AWS, so those will not be, those are very secure, high secure. No one can hack that. So since 2012 I am working on AWS. Okay. So far I haven't seen single security concern in AWS, right? So AWS is providing very high security, high availability. So otherwise what will happen if they are unable to provide security and availability? What will happen? Customers eventually they switch to other platforms, or they back to on-premises servers, local servers, right? So that is why, yeah, AWS is providing high availability, high security. Yeah, so this is the region, these are the zones. We have another one terminology, one term is there, which is edge location. Edge location, region, zone, edge location. Edge location also data center, right? For example, entire this, yeah, entire data center is down, entire region is down, whatever databases are there, whatever applications are there in Mumbai region, everything will be down. So by the time what will happen? So nearby edge location, the data will be accessible. Nearby edge location means, so nearby Mumbai, what the location is available? Singapore. From Singapore you can access data, right? So whatever applications we are hosting on the data centers, in case one data center is down, nothing will be happened. That level of availability, security provided by AWS. That is why every organization, every applications we are migrating to cloud. So currently, most of the applications we are hosting on the cloud. So 8 years back, 10 years back, in our data center, in our server room, we used to use nearly 1500 servers, 1500 to 2000 servers. So currently we have only 30 servers. Why that much of drastic change? Because of high availability, high security, less costing. When we migrate our servers, applications to cloud, cost will be reduced, right? One third cost will be saved. Fine. Yeah, physical environments, yeah, costing is more, right? So when we when we configure data center, so when we configure servers, when we recruit admin, when we maintain server AC, everything, licensing, right? It's more costing, right? So when we go to cloud, so one third cost will be saved. For example, we spend $500, $500 for local server, right? So when we use cloud servers, it would be $100 only. It's cost saving, and also cloud infrastructure is on-demand infrastructure. Immediately, instantly you can access, right? So that is why every project team they're migrating to cloud. Clear, right, everyone? Yeah. Next one, yeah, someone asking some question. If we configure one availability zone as a data center, how it is available other availability zone or law? Yeah, so that will go deep dive. Don't worry, wait for some time. Okay. Yeah. So availability zone is a DR data center. We discussed DR, disaster recovery, right? So one availability zone is down, other availability zone will take care of the resources. Okay. Yeah. For example, so this is Chennai, this is Bangalore, this is Hyderabad. Okay. So in Chennai we have databases, applications, we have servers. In 2016, what happened? major floods happened in Chennai. Major floods. Most of the IT area shut down because of water. Okay. So by the time our AWS data center also shut down in Chennai. Okay. So by the time what happened, whatever servers are available here, whatever servers, whatever storages, whatever databases available here, these resources access from Hyderabad, from here. Okay. Yeah. So Chennai is completely down by the time 15 days this data center was down by the time. So by the time data accessed from Hyderabad location. So the users who are accessing that applications, they don't know from where we are accessing. But automatically it will switch without any manual intervention. That will be configured by AWS only. Don't need to worry about. Okay. So this regions, zones, edge locations will be configured by already configured by AWS only. As a DevOps engineer, as a cloud engineer, what we will do? Instead of this availability zone, we create VPC and we maintain the VPC. That is virtual private cloud, our own network. That is very easier, very simple. Okay. While working on AWS, we'll go deep dive. Don't worry. Is it clear to you, Sadia? Fine. Next one. So this is a LAN man WAN combination. Okay. See here. Next one is what is an IP address? What is IP address? What is IP, anyone? Yes, IP stands for Internet Protocol, right? So every laptop, desktop, server, every switch, every router, every device is having one IP, which is unique IP address. Okay. See here. IP stands for Internet Protocol, and IP address is unique address that identify a device on the internet or a local network. So which is the set of rules governing the format of data sent via the internet or local network, right? Yeah. So for example, if I open command line command prompt here, so if I check ip config, see here, so this is my IP address, this is my IP version 4. Currently we are using IP version 4. Maybe going forward we use the IP version 6. Currently we are not using IP version 6, so currently we are using IP version 4, right? So this is my IP address, this is unique address. IP should not be overlap. My IP should not be used other system. My system IP, other systems will not use, right? Yeah. So IP address is having 4 octets, 4 octets, right? So in IPv4, for example, these basics are very very important. Okay. IP addresses. Okay. So every IP is having 4 octets. For example, 192.168.0.10, for example. Okay. So here we have 4 octets in IPv4. This is IPv4 address. This is IPv4 address. Okay. IP version 4. IP version 4. Every octet we can say, 8 bits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So this address we can say this is 1 octet, this is 1 octet, this is 1 octet, this is 1 octet, and this is also 1 octet. So here 4 octets are there, each octet 8 bits, right? So here these are the 8 bits, this is 8 bit, this is 8 bit, this is 8 bit, total 32-bit address. So IPv4 is the 32-bit address, 32-bit, right? IPv6, IPv6 is the Any bits handle? How many bits? Anyone having idea? IPv4 is the 30-bit address. IPv6 is the latest one. Currently, we are not using. Maybe after 1 year, after 2 years, it will start. Yeah, people will start using this. So IPv6 is the 128-bit address. Okay. So currently we are not using. Maybe going forward we use. Okay. Yeah. So in this IPv4, first two octets we can say network address. Second two octets we can say host address. Okay, that will go deep dive while working on AWS. Okay, yeah. Next one, types of IP addresses. Types of IP addresses. There are various classifications of IP addresses, and each category further contain some types. Okay, so here, private IP address. First one is private IP, right? And public IP. Private IP, public IP. Normally, every server or laptop or desktop, how many IPs will be there? How many IPs will be there? Server, laptop, or desktop. ఎన్ని ఐపీస్ ఉండొచ్చు ఎనివా only one IP. So for example, you can see here in my system, in my laptop, only one IP address, right? Only one IP, which is we can say network IP. But cloud server is having two IPs. Cloud server is having two IPs. What are those? Private IP, public IP. See here. So this is cloud server. See here. For example, Docker server. Public IP v4 address, private IP v4 address, right? So currently the server is in stopped state. Stopped means shut down, right? So if the server is shut down, this IP will be gone. So currently IP is not showing here. If you start the server, IP will be available here. So this is public IP, this is private IP. So every cloud server is having two IPs. To connect our server, we use the public IP. So for internal communication, we use the private IP address. So physical server, physical laptop, physical desktop is having only one IP. But cloud side, we have two IPs. Not only in AWS, even Azure, Google Cloud also, right? So two IPs will be there, right? Yeah, fine. So in public IP, again two IPs are available. In public IP, again two IPs, two types of IPs, dynamic IP and also static IP. In public IP, again we have two types of IPs are there. Dynamic IP address, static IP. What is dynamic IP, anyone? Dynamically the IP will be changed. Dynamically IP will be changed whenever we start server. Okay. Static IP, it is a permanent IP. It never change until you terminate your server, until delete our server. Okay. Yeah. So along with these two IPs, one more IP will be available in AWS. Three IPs available. Private IP, public IP, one more IP which is elastic IP. While working on AWS, we'll go deep dive. Elastic IPs. So elastic IPs we need to get from data center. Where we can check that elastic IP is, see here, elastic IPs here. Okay. So how can we generate elastic IP? How can we attach that IP to the server? We'll see practically. So from tomorrow onwards, more into practical. So far theoretical concepts only. So from tomorrow onwards, so tomorrow first 30 minutes, some theory part will be there. Later on, practical. Practically we'll see. So from tomorrow onwards, more into practical. So daily, just 10 minutes only theoretical part will be. Right? So after that, practically we'll see all the concepts, AWS services. Okay? Yeah. Next one. So what is subnet? What is subnet? So what is IP address we discussed already. Next one is subnet. So here it is showing subnet, right? Subnet, right? What is subnet? Yeah, subnet is a subnetwork, small network. Instead of a large network, we can create small network, subnetwork. Why we require subnet? What is the use of this? For example, we have 1,000 servers are there. We have 1,000 servers are there. So in this we have 1000 servers are there. So this 1000 servers are in same subnet, for example. 1000 servers are in same subnet. Okay. So what will happen here? If the servers are in same subnet, they can communicate each other. For example, we are in same room, right? We can communicate each other, right? So in that 1000 servers, 300 servers are development servers are there, 300 servers are QA servers are there, 400 servers are production servers are there. In the production servers, we have database server. Normally, database servers we should not allow inbound traffic. Database servers should not allow inbound traffic. So that is why what we will do, we can divide into groups like this. The group is, we can say, subnet. This group we can say subnet. So for example, this is a development servers. We have 300 servers. QA servers. We have 300 servers. Prod servers, production servers. We have 400 servers, right? Yeah. See, the production servers we have databases. Database DB, right? So normally database servers we should not allow inbound traffic, right? If you allow inbound traffic, there may be chances to leak the data. That is why to restrict that, to segregate that, we use the subnets. We use the subnets. Okay. See here. A subnet or subnetwork is a small network instead of a large network. See here. These are all the subnets. Subnet 1, subnet 2, subnet 3, subnet 4, subnet 5, right? So different subnets, subgroups, small networks, right? So see here. Subnet 1, 200.200.10.48 slash 29 slash 28 slash 28. So what does it mean? Slash 28, 29, right? I'll show you something here. Subnet ranges, for example, subnet ranges. Click on this. So here we have subnet ranges. See here, these are all subnet ranges. For example, slash 28. Here we are seeing slash 28, right? Slash 28. Slash 28. In this slash 28, we can accommodate 16 IPs, 16 servers we can connect, 16 devices we can connect. Okay. So normally in AWS we use the 16 range, 16 slash 16 range, 65,536 IPs. Okay. So that many systems you can connect. Okay. So here it is showing 65,536, but usable IPs here. These are the actual IPs. These are the usable IPs. Okay. So 65,536 IPs available here, but here usable IPs are 65,534 only. What about other two IPs? Those are the broadcast address, broadcasting. Okay. So that will go deep dive while working on AWS services. So it's very simple, very easier. Okay. These are the subnets. Slash 24, 256 IPs, slash 20, 4096 IPs, slash 16, 65,536 IPs, right? Yeah, this network ranges will be taken care by AWS only. Don't need to worry about. So we need to just give the range while creating the VPC. Okay. So these are the subnets. Fine. Next one, what is a network switch? A switch is a device in a computer network that connects other devices together. Multiple data cables plugged into a switch to enable communication between different network devices. Okay, see here. This is the traditional switch. Currently, we are not using this. Okay, so AWS is maintaining. We are not using this currently. So the switch backside we have RJ45 ports. In these ports, we can connect our cables and we can communicate all the devices through the network. Okay. Yeah. Next one. What is gateway? Gateway, right? So see here. Gateway is a router, network router, right? So this is one network. This is another network. If you want to communicate one network to other network, we require gateway. We require gateway. See here. This network range is 10.0.0.0 slash 8. This network range is 20.0.0.0 slash 8. So two different ranges. So between two different ranges, we cannot communicate. For example, so this system to this system, if you want to communicate, we cannot communicate. That is why to enable communication, we require gateways. Understood, right, everyone? These gateways are very important while working on VPC. We'll see this gateways. Okay. Next one, firewall. What is firewall? Right. See here, firewalls are network security systems that prevent unauthorized access to a network. It can be a hardware or software unit that filters the incoming outgoing traffic within network. So what is firewall? It is a network security device, right? So normally from office laptop, we cannot communicate outside world, right? So for example, if you want to send email from your official email ID to outside world, it will not be allowed. Firewall will be blocked, right? You don't get any outside emails to your official email ID, right? Because firewall will block, right? See here. Normally, if you want to connect your office network, how can we connect? Through internet, through VPN. VPN, right? So, for example, when you join the project, you'll get one laptop, right? So, which is a office laptop. So, if you want to connect your office network, first we need to connect VPN. What is VPN? Virtual Private Network, right? So, that is one server. Once you log into the VPN, that will allow you to connect your office network, right? So, if you want to connect your office network, first we require internet, right? Through internet we can connect our VPN. So internet is the most vulnerable network, most dangerous network. That is why we required firewalls, right? So in firewall, what we will do, we create firewall rules. Based on the rules it will work, right? So it will allow good traffic, it will allow good traffic as per the firewall rule. It will not be allowed bad traffic. Bad traffic will be blocked here. Understand, right, everyone? So if you want to connect office network, first you need to connect through internet to the VPN. VPN will allow you to connect your office network. So in firewall, we create the firewall rules. As per the rules, it will allow good traffic, it will deny the bad traffic. Clear, right, everyone? Next one, what is replication? What is failover? What is load balancer? These are all very important. Replication is a technology for copying and distributing data and database objects from one database to another, and then synchronizing between databases to maintain consistency, integrity of the data. In most cases, replication is a process of reproducing the data at the desired targets. See. So this is a primary data center. This is secondary region, secondary data center. The data will be synchronized from one region to other region. Synchronize. What is synchronize? Replication. What is replication? Duplication, right? So here we have three files. These three files duplicated to secondary region. So one user is accessing from primary region. In case primary region is down, what will happen? Automatically that will fail over to secondary region. What is failover? Automatically secondary region will take care of the resources, right? So here we discussed about the zones, right? Zones. If the zone is one zone is down, other zone will take care of. Same way, even though region also, in case entire region is down, other region will take care of, right? Yeah, see here. So this will fail over to other secondary region. This user, he don't know, he doesn't know from where I'm accessing the data, right? So automatically it will fail over to next available region. Clear right up to here. Any questions so far, anyone? Any questions so far, anyone? Yeah, so from tomorrow onwards, Rijwan, tomorrow onwards, practical oriented only. Okay, so tomorrow onwards, practical oriented only. So these are all very basics. First, you need to understand basics. Without basics, if you go directly into AWS, we will not understand, right? Yeah, see here. Next one is important concept. What is cluster? What are the advantages of cluster? Cluster. What is cluster, anyone? Cluster. Cluster is a group of devices, group of servers, right? What are the advantages of cluster? Benefits of cluster? Fault tolerance, load balancing. Fault tolerance. So here we have, yeah, these are the servers configured as a cluster, as a group. In case one server is down, application will not be down anywhere, right? So that is fault tolerance, load balancing. So one server is having more burden, that will be balanced to other servers. For example, in our team, in our team, 5 members are there, 5 members, team members. So every member is getting 30 requests per day, 30 requests, 30 tickets per day. Okay. So in that 5 members, 2 members went on leave. What will happen? Project will be down, project will be stopped or not? Project will be stopped? No, right? Yeah. So 5 people are handling 150 requests, right? 2 people went on leave, only 3 people are there. The load will be balanced to these 3 people, right? And also project will not be stopped anywhere because project will run without any issues. So in that 3 people, one person is in sick leave again. Other 2 people handle the entire ship, entire project, right? Which is nothing but cluster and benefits of cluster. Okay, so cluster normally current whatever applications we are using currently, like Kubernetes, especially Kubernetes, without cluster Kubernetes will not work without cluster, even though Jenkins, Docker also. Okay, yeah, so cluster concept is very very important. What is cluster? Cluster is nothing but group of servers, group of devices. Benefits of cluster: load balancing, fault tolerance, right? So this will go deep dive while working. We create, yeah, practically we create the cluster. We see the cluster. Okay, yeah. So why Linux? Currently, most of the organizations, most of the project teams, they are using Linux systems only, Linux servers only. Why Linux? What is the importance here? See here, it is a free, open source, very secure, so many distributions available, fast performance. Okay, compare with Windows, Linux is free, open source, secure, so many distributions, so many versions available like RHCL, CentOS, Ubuntu, Amazon Linux, SUSE Linux, Debian. So many flavors are available. As per the project team requirement, they can choose the flavor, right? So compared to Windows systems, it is very faster. Okay, yeah. So no viruses, no malwares, no slowdowns, no crashes, no costly repairs with the Linux. Okay, no viruses. When any virus is released, immediately that will impact, that will affect to the, that will attack to the Windows systems first. Linux is more secure, right? No malwares. Malwares means threats, some issues, right? So Linux systems will not have that. Okay. Slowdowns. Normally Linux systems will not be slowed down, right? So crashes. Windows servers will be crashed sometime, but Linux will not be crashed. No costly repairs. So normally Linux systems we don't see any costly repairs compared to Windows. Costly repair means, so any operating system issues, hardware issues, we don't find any costly repairs in Linux, right? So these are all advantages of Linux. That is why most of the organizations they are using Linux systems only, Linux servers only, right? So yeah, once you start AWS, after a few sessions, we have Linux also. So we required 40 commands, 40 important commands, 40 to 50 nearly. So yeah, Linux will take 4 to 5 hours. Linux will take 4 to 5 hours. So in Linux, we discuss about Linux architecture, Linux basic commands, advanced commands, deployment commands, user management, file permissions, filter commands. These are all very important. That takes 4 to 5 hours. Fine. Yeah. So these are the basics. Yesterday, today we covered servers network basics, right? So this Basics are very, very important. So if you understand this terminology, you can easily understand AWS terminology, right? Clear, right, everyone? So tomorrow we are going to start AWS. Okay. So tomorrow onwards, yeah, you need to practice daily basis. Tomorrow I'll show you how to create AWS account. How can we connect AWS account? So what are the resources available in AWS? Okay. How can we use the resources whenever needed in the project, right? So as per the project team requirement, how can we create the resources? How can we maintain the resources? We'll see tomorrow. Fine. So as a cloud engineer, as a AWS engineer, what we will do? We maintain the infrastructure. As a DevOps engineer, what we will do? We automate the activities, right? We automate the manual activities into automated way. Fine. Yeah. So tomorrow we are going to start AWS. So once complete the AWS, we'll jump into DevOps. After that, we'll start Azure. After that, we'll start Google Cloud. So we are going to learn 3 cloud platforms here. So why we require three platforms here? Because every organization, every project team, they are using at least 2 clouds, AWS Azure or AWS GCP or Azure GCP. If you learn three platforms, you can easily cope up in any project, right? Yeah. So DevOps tools also will go deep dive all the tools, right? Fine. Our course is multi-cloud with DevOps. Fine. Any questions here? Anyone? Online guys? Why 2 clouds using companies, right? So different quality, different costing. Why the supermarkets are there? So many supermarkets here in Hyderabad. So many supermarkets are there, right? Different supermarkets. Ratnadeep, Vijayata, DMart, Heritage. Why so many supermarkets? Different quality, different customers. AWS is costly, quality high. Azure is less costing, less quality. Google Cloud is very less quality, very less pricing. So different mobiles are there, right? Different laptops are there, right? Different costing, different pricing. That is why every project team, at least they are using 2 cloud platforms. Clear, right? Nagesh. Any other questions, anyone? So if you have any questions, you can, I enable the mic, you can ask me. And also I provided my number, right? So anyone newly joined today, can you share your WhatsApp number, email address? So my mobile number already shared with you, 96422111711. So if you have any more questions, you can reach out to me after this session.
Sir,
Sir,
one
for
question.
Linux, hello.
Yeah, go ahead. Yes.
Sir, for Linux, it need to be installed in the operating system, installed in through network through, or you have to install through laptop.
No need to install in laptop. Okay. We don't need to install in laptop. We connect AWS. In AWS platform only, we can create instances, servers. We don't need to worry about software install in your laptop. You require one laptop,
Okay,
internet connectivity. That's it.
okay, sir.
Okay.
Sir, one question. Actually, we are
Yeah.
new
Good.
to this complete network and all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, is there any way that we can show you the things like whatever we discussed, routers, subnet mask, all these are new to us.
No
And
problem. No
yeah,
issues. So very basic level we start our course. Very basic level, right? So don't need to worry about. Non-IT guys, freshers, don't need to worry about, right? Very basic level our course will start. So tomorrow we are going to start AWS. Slowly we'll enter into cloud platform, and first we'll understand all basics in AWS. Slowly we'll enter into advanced concepts. Okay. So daily basis everyone should practice. If you practice daily basis, so once complete the session, you'll get the recording, right? Just go through the recording once. After that, you can practice that. So this 3 months, whatever we discuss in the session, if you follow that strictly, you can easily crack your entry. In my batches that was happened, previous batches. Okay. So even non-IT guys, civil background guys also crack the entry in Cognizant recently with very good package. Okay, one civil engineer is there. He's having 12 years experience, civil background. He learned DevOps, he switched to MNC company recently. So one former background guy also, former background. He cracked the entry in HCL recently. Okay. So one girl, he's from BCom graduation. She cracked the entry in one of the MNC company recently. Okay. Yeah. So if you don't have any basic knowledge, don't need to worry about. Even Linux also very clearly will go, right? So basic level to advanced level very clearly will go. So 4 to 5 sessions, Linux sessions will be there. So once start working on AWS, after a few services, we start the Linux. Okay. Clear, right, everyone? Any other questions, anyone? Yeah. So tomorrow onwards, completely meeting link will be changed because tomorrow we are going to start AWS, right? So that is why everyone, whoever interested. So far we completed 6 sessions, right? 6 sessions. Normally demo session 3 sessions people will allow, right? Other institutes, I don't know exactly, but I have friends, I have faculty friends. Okay, so they said only 2 or 3 demos we allow, but already 6 demos completed, right? 6 sessions completed, right? So tomorrow onwards, yeah, if you're interested, you can add into WhatsApp group. So in WhatsApp group, already 23 people are already added. Okay, nearly 22 or 23 people. Okay, so if you are interested, you can make the fee and you can add into WhatsApp group. Already I gave the fee details, right? So fee would be 20,000. Yeah, if you pay by cash, it would be 17 only. Okay, 17K only, right? Yeah, once you make the fee, you can share the screenshot to me so that I'll add into WhatsApp group. Fine. So tomorrow onwards, we are going to start AWS. So every concept we'll see practically, right? So practical oriented sessions. So far these are all theoretical, these are all very basics, right? Fine. So if you are interested, you can add into WhatsApp group as soon as possible. So coding is not there in AWS and DevOps. We don't require any coding. Zero coding. Don't need to worry about coding. We are not developers, right? Fine. So tomorrow onwards, we are going to start AWS. Yeah, same timings, same. Yeah. So link will be changed, right? So that is why you can add into WhatsApp group, online guys. Even classroom guys also. You can make the fee if you are interested. You can add into WhatsApp group. Okay. Fine. Yeah, we can wind up here. Any last question, anyone? Is this training for AWS, GCP, Azure with DevOps, not for AWS AWS Solution Architect course? So AWS is Solution Architect. So first we start AWS Solution Architect course. Once complete that, we'll jump into DevOps. After that, Azure. After that, GCP. Okay. So tomorrow we are going to start AWS, which is Solution Architect course. So we are posting separately. So any people, yeah, people required only AWS, they can join tomorrow, right? Fine. We can wind up here. Yeah. Thank you all.